from skating with Blake Taylor and the guy who runs Powwow and Trace Taylor. He pretty much was skated with or his cousin lived in Birmingham, great Gabe Rosser, but he he skated with Charles and all them from going up to Birmingham, I guess in high school, and they would come down and skate Pensacola with Blake Taylor and Dennis Illingworth that lived in Pensacola that were a few years older than I was, with no or a bunch of other older or I guess older skaters, not too many younger rollerbladers, few. Where I grew up, pretty much skated there, but I would go to uh, Birmingham with Trace and Blake and all them, make weekend trips and going skating with Charles, Rob, Matt Nicholas, Markson, pretty much Trace, Brandon Frost, all people I pretty much grew up watching and pretty much going skating at first. Like, just, I guess I skated the street, but not like on like a serious level yet. And it was fucked. It was crazy. They pretty much like went spot to spot, no sessioning, no nothing. It was like get out of the van. It fucking like if you saw a trick, 5 minutes, you picture and fucking trick was done.
Yeah.
And we're talking about some like
You're,
tricks. We're talking about
you're
tricks.
battling it for fucking whatever, but like you're bleeding. Like and then you get it back in, and then someone goes to the next spot. Like it was no like everyone was having a good time, but it was like serious.
Those videos were
And
all serious. Like when
it
in the
was
beginning days, you film like rejects and all that stuff.
yeah, it was. I guess my first like time going to Birmingham was right after issue one was done, and it was seeing pretty much Alex Broskow's section in issue two being edited, and pretty much walked into Sean Engler's apartment at UAB in Birmingham. I guess I was. I guess I wasn't driving, so I was probably 15, I get maybe 16, but I didn't. I don't can't. I don't even know what year it was, but yeah, I was like, "What the fuck?" And with everything else, like all the other sections, but I remember seeing that just like leaving the apartment, and I was just like,
It's funny.
what? This is retarded. I didn't even know shit could even happen that way.
It's funny how like small you could feel sometimes. Like, I had the same feeling too with like a bunch of things back in the day with like I always say how Chris Haffey did the 540 con grind, the IMYTA Atlanta, and I was like, oh, I'll never be pro if that's like the level of skating shit's at now. But looking back on it, that was so motivating, and
Oh yeah,
that's exactly what you're saying. I was talking with John Jenkins earlier, and he was saying that you told him how like ruthless skating with Charles was, and how he said something along the lines of like. If you don't get any clips, you can't come skate with us or something like that. Was
well,
that?
yeah, pretty much Trace. One of like the second trips, or I went up there. I guess stayed at Charles's and pretty much skated with them. I didn't really do anything, and pretty much on the way back, he was just like, "Dude, you gotta like do something, like on the way or like next time you're there, because it's just pretty much like waste of space, like a nice like gentle way, somewhat of saying it." And then I may have been like before we left, but like pretty much like he never like I guess like for would like film and stuff at first, but I remember like trying something I guess or like a trick in like issue three era, but like did something where he filmed it and pretty much I guess like got like approval, because besides that I was just like getting stoned and like getting drunk and just watching and being admired, like watching people that I was idolized skate, and yeah, they didn't.
They were like, nah.
Well, what was your first trick then? That or your first clip? Do you remember?
With them, I guess it was like a Royale to acid and like a 360 soul on like a high rail in issue three.
That's right. That three soul. I remember that.
Had like
No,
old school release.
Yeah, the original remedies, like the OG ones.
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. You had the OG remedies. So saying like short hair, right?
Mm.
I
Yeah.
can't picture you with short
Still
hair.
had glasses, but I didn't switch to contacts yet.
Sick. Yeah. Yeah. You were telling me about that, like when you were going out there and just like, oh, watching them, and then they were like, yo, man, like if you don't start ripping, and I guess you felt some pressure to like kind of,
Yeah.
live up to skate with them, right?
Or Trace, I can't remember the exact conversation, but he pretty much like laid it down. Like, yeah, you gotta like, you may not come back up. If you don't do anything, you're not going to come up next trip. I was like, shit.
As like a 15-year-old, that really lights a fire under your ass, though, right? Did we?
Just, I guess I got the time to like skate, like go out of town and skating with like sleeping on pretty much, or I guess we all stayed at Charles's mom's house, but or like downtown or like whatever, it didn't matter. But like to being able to pretty much skate around with like people you grew up watching shred and be a part of it and have the opportunity to possibly be a part of what they're doing was awesome. So I pretty much I guess had to fucking do something.
Yeah, I was like, I guess after you first started getting clips, it was like off to the races, right? Like then you just like in the mix and doing your thing.
Don't get me wrong, I still sometimes, or I guess whatever, everyone sometimes whenever you're skating, I guess camera's not always fun, but yeah, felt more relaxed than I did just being like a spectator with them. And they're not like any like I guess they are an opening crew, but for me, I was a little kid.
That's funny that you said you felt more relaxed skating clips rather than just sitting back and watching. It seems like more work, especially that time when skating was like hard, you know.
Well, that's half the spots to whatever. I guess like they didn't. Everything was big back then, or like not even like creative tricks. Especially growing up skating with Charles, and that I give it up. That's one of like my fucking like good best friends. Like I guess we haven't spoken in a little bit, but still forever doesn't matter. Fucking like shit. But like one of the like besides like Pat Lannon and certain skaters like that doing creative tricks. Their creative tricks then were fucking like death-defying stunts.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. Like I was actually talking to Charles not too long ago, and we were talking about getting him on the podcast. So we're probably gonna actually get him on here soon, which would be cool because man, what a rich history. He's been like such an OG.
He got a hip replacement recently.
Did he just?
Ugh. Yeah, I talked to Mark Sin a little bit and recently, and yeah, like a few months back.
Yeah, man. It doesn't shock me the way he skated. And some of I just remember the first thing I saw of him in VG, I think
the section VG 13, yeah, that mini 13. Profile.
Yo, that was just the most hesh thing I'd ever seen in skating up until that point. So yeah, I can imagine skating with that crew. They're going to, you know, there's Rob Thompson, you know, there's Mark Sin jumping off of things like 20 feet tall.
Rob really is crazy, as crazy as Charles.
Right.
Rob just went to college.
Is he like a lawyer now or something?
He's a banker.
A banker.
He pretty much, I'm gonna get it all wrong, but he's like a finance bank or he pretty much makes sure the money that's loaned out makes sense for the bank to loan it out to the businesses. He's an analyst or he does something along those lines.
Or maybe he's a financial analyst, something like that. There we go. Yep. Let's just go with that. Let's go with that. Rob, hit us up, man. We'd love to have you on the podcast too. Also,
that'd be sick too.
Let me know about where I invest his finances, bro. Like, hit me up. Like, is there some crypto I should be putting my money into? Is there some stock? Rob, if you're watching, hit me up.
We gotta get Rob on for an educational episode for everybody.
Yeah, right.